welcome to my channel. Today we're talking nursing. We're going to be talking about time management tips in nursing, especially in the ICU, but really you can use these in any area of nursing. So I just got done doing 3 days in a row. Today is my day off, and I had the 3 craziest days in a row, which is why I don't like doing 3 days in a row. I personally, if I can choose, I will do 2 days in a row, because if the first day you go in, you're refreshed. It's like your Monday, okay? You just had a couple of days off, you're relaxed, you're ready to go, let's do this. And then you go in for your second day, you already know your patients, hopefully if you get the same assignment, and then it's like your Friday. So it works, I love it, Monday and Friday. So that's why I like working 2 in a row, but 3 in a row, that's when it gets real. Let me just tell you what I had to do in my 3 days. We did 2 intubations, 2 bedside bronchs. I learned how to do CRRT, had to paralyze one of my patients, meaning I had to do the train of 4 and the biz monitoring. I had a glucomander patient, a withdrawal of care, and it was a long 3 days. So I'm so thankful that I'm off today. Having all that craziness makes me think that I needed to talk about time management, because it's hard to describe time management in the ICU, because every day is so different that you can't really have this mold of what your day is going to be and what a perfect ICU day is. When I first started, I thought that I could learn how to have a perfect day in the ICU. I was at home, I'm like, I need to get better at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. This was when I first started out on my own. So I Googled time management tips for ICU nurses. And this wonderful little thing came up that told me, minute by minute, basically, how to set your morning up. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I was like, I just struck gold. This is the best tool I've ever seen. So I printed it out, I was looking at it all night. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in for my next shift and I'm gonna have the perfect day. I'm gonna have the perfect day as a nurse in the ICU. Ha, that doesn't exist. So I'm walking in, ready to go. I have my little paper in my pocket, my little cheat sheet. I'm like, all right, this is it. I've got my tool. It's gonna be the best day. I'm about to go to huddle. I open up my sheet. It says, I have it right here. It says 6:45 to 7, report on patient 1. I'm like, all right, let's go get report on patient 1. But wait, we have to do huddle. I'm like, okay, so that's gonna mess up my timing a little bit, having to go to huddle. Apparently this hospital doesn't do huddle, or I don't know, maybe Courtney's in charge, so we're not doing huddle that day. But so I'm like, all right, we'll get through huddle. Huddle usually would only take, like 5-10 minutes maybe. You learn about what's going on that day, any updates that you need to know about the unit, things to look out for. And I don't know about you guys, but there's always someone who has to make huddle way longer than it has to be. Like, always one nurse who has to chime in with like their story or their little thing. Like, the charge nurse will say, make sure that you have fresh labels on your IV tubing. All tubing has to have labels. And someone will be like, you know what? I went in a room the other day and there wasn't a label on one of the tubes. It's like, yeah, duh, that's why we're talking about this. Okay, we all know what it means. But you don't have to put an example on every single thing that we talk about in huddle. And there's always someone else who has to like add in like their own personal problem at the end. Like, but by the way, before everybody goes, I need a timesheet corrected for lunch last Wednesday. Can you do that for me? It's like, thank you for wasting 30 more seconds of our time of my 6:45 to 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to be getting my report on my first patient to have my perfect day. But no, you have to ask about your timesheet. That has nothing to do with everybody else. Anyway, report on patient 1 is gonna take 15 minutes. We'll see. Usually, ideally, you'd be getting your report and it would be like, okay, this patient, came in for this problem, their A&O times 3, their sinus rhythm, whatever. You go through, perfect. But what's really gonna happen when you go to get report, you're gonna be like, okay, the nurse is gonna say, all right, we have an 82-year-old female, blah, blah, blah. So you're writing your stuff down, you glance up real quick in the room, you're like, let me get eyes on this patient, let's see about this 82-year-old. You look up, this lady's half out of bed, trying to I don't know, bed alarm's not going off for some reason. Or another scenario, you know, writing down your stuff and you hear ding, ding, call light. All right, so you look over, you go in. This little 82-year-old, she's like, I gotta pee. Perfect. Let's put you on a bedpan. There's no bedpan in the room. Okay, so this is all while you're supposed to be getting a report. Like, all right, let's go get a bedpan real quick. We'll get you on the bedpan. Time you get back with the bedpan, you go to put little Miss 82-year-old on her bedpan, and there's like a river of pee in the bed. She already peed the bed. So now you have to spend this time that you're supposed to be getting a report, now you are switching all the sheets on her bed. Anyway, you get to the end, she's all set, she's good to go. You need anything? No. All right, we're gonna go finish report, and then, well actually, no, we'll finish report here. We're gonna do bedside report, because we're good nurses. So you finish your bedside report, you're like, great. You go back out. By this time, it's probably like 7:30. But next on our thing would be 7 o'clock to 7:15, report on patient 2. Patient 2 is 68-year-old male, intubated, whatever. So you're getting a report on patient 2, everything goes fine, and then you hear the IV pump starts beeping. You look in, glucometer. Okay, so now you have to stop, go take your blood sugar, and then put it into the little program, and then go on your way. Okay, just interruptions. That's my point, is that you are not going to get through a report without any interruptions. Lab's gonna come and have to ask you a question, phone's gonna ring, patient's gonna hit the call light, IVs are gonna beep, someone's gonna have to pee. It's just how it happens every time. It's how it happens. 7:15 to 7:30, you're with patient 2 because you just did bedside report, you're still in there. So you're gonna do your assessment, chart anything that you need to chart, check your lines, alarm settings, replace any fluids and drips, and then check, before leaving the room, check to see what meds you have to give on patient 1 so that you can go and get those meds before you come back. Okay, makes sense. And then 7:30 to 8, granted, 7:30, we're probably just now finishing report, but we've already done both of our assessments, charted stuff, grabbing meds. All right, 7:30 to 8, back to patient 1, do your assessment, level your lines, all that good stuff. And then once it hits 8 a.m., you're going to scan and give your 9 o'clock meds. I like it. I'm definitely an advocate for giving meds early, okay? I think right when it's 8, give your meds, do it as soon as you can, okay? 8 to 8:30, you're gonna go back to patient 2, give them their morning meds, finish charting everything by what time? By 8:30. And then from 8:30 to 8:45, just relax, catch up on whatever charting that you need to do, and go about your day. Sure. Now, what your real morning is gonna look like, it's gonna be huddle. If your hospital is huddle, you're gonna do your huddle. You're gonna get report with 1,000 interruptions, and then you're going to do your assessments, and it's not gonna go like that. Too many things, there are too many variables to go wrong. You're gonna go to get your meds out of the Pyxis, they're not gonna be there. So you're gonna call pharmacy, they're gonna be like, did you check the refrigerator? And be like, yes, I checked the refrigerator. They're gonna be like, have you checked it in the last 5 minutes? I'm like, yes, I've checked it in the last 5 minutes, but I'll check again. So you're gonna open the fridge, you're gonna check again, it's not gonna be there. You're gonna send a med request, it's gonna take another hour, and you're gonna get your med. So everything's gonna get messed up. You're gonna be like, you're gonna go to grab your insulin, and you're like, shoot, I didn't check the blood sugar. So you have to go back, check a blood sugar, come back, get your insulin, get it co-signed, show somebody so that they can co-sign it for you. And then you're gonna be in your patient's room, and you're gonna be like, all right, where's Sally? Because I gotta get this insulin signed. Sally's nowhere to be found. You look out, you're like, how are there no nurses in the entire unit? There are 10 nurses here today, but there's not a single nurse to be found when you need someone to co-sign your stuff. What I'm saying is, my perfect ICU time management tip sheet was not at all a perfect tip sheet. It is very unrealistic, and some days you may be able to make that work, but a lot of days it's not going to be realistic. So just try and get report, and just good luck. Now I'm going to talk about some actual realistic time management tips that I've found to be helpful from the time that I started in the ICU to now. So what I like to do first thing when I get to the hospital is, if I can get there a few minutes early and start digging through my patient's chart, that's ideal. But if I can't do that, I'll wait until after report. So we'll do bedside report. I'll go through the orders and everything with the nurse that I'm getting a report from, make sure we're on the same page about everything. And then I like to take my paper and I will write down all of the important labs for that patient. Specifically, I want to know their white blood cells, hemoglobin, platelets, creatinine, sodium, potassium, the major electrolytes, really anything that's specific to what that patient's going on. Like if they're having liver issues, you're going to want to know, the AST, ALT, bilirubin, all that stuff. So it just depends on what is going on with your patient. Write down the pertinent labs. And I like to write down today's labs and then the day before as well, so I can trend them and see if my patient's getting better or worse. So I'll write down my labs on one side, and then on the other side of my paper, I'll write down all of my medications I have to give that day. So I'll break them into times, like my 9 o'clocks, my 2 o'clocks, whatever I need for my day. I'll write down what antibiotics they're on. I'll write down if they're getting like heparin or Lovenox for DVT prophylaxis, what are they getting for peptic ulcer prophylaxis. Those things are really important to have just on hand with you all the time, because those are frequently asked. And then if they've had any type of procedures, I like to write that stuff down too. And then if they're on the ventilator, definitely know the vent settings. If they've had an ABG, you want to know your ABGs. Those are the major things that I like to write down on my paper, and just keep that with me all the time, because if any of the other interdisciplinary doctors come through, you're going to want that information. Another important thing that I like to do is when I go in to do my initial assessment on my patient, I like to do kind of a room assessment. So I'll look at my IV drips, I'll see what's running out, how fast am I running on all of them, things like your vasopressors and your sedatives especially. So you want to see how much time you have on them, how quickly you're going through bags, so if you need to have a backup ready, that's important. And then I also like to look at my actual IV lines, what needs to be changed today. Check out the patient, are they going to need a new blanket, a new gown, a dressing change today? What can you bring in next time you come in, like when you're doing your med pass or whatever you're doing? What can you bring in to save yourself time? Another good thing to do to help with time management is to anticipate problems and make a problem list, or a list that you want to address with your NP or your doctor, so that when they round, you're not forgetting anything. You don't have to go back and ask them things. Like say the patient has PO meds, but you don't think they're safe to swallow. You're going to write that down so you can ask if they want those meds given, what do they want to do. And one of the most valuable time management tips that I can give to any nurse is to utilize your staff and be that staff member as well that people can go to if they need help, because the more that you give yourself and you offer to help, the more help you're going to get in return. If you have a job that is going to take 2 or 3 people and you think you can do it on your own, A, you're going to hurt yourself, because patients are heavy. Don't try and move them on your own. You're going to hurt yourself. B, it's going to take you more time trying to do it by yourself than if you just ask a couple people to help you. And just don't be afraid to ask for help with anything. If you're unsure about if you should give a med or not, if you don't know what's what, just ask for help all the time. Ask everybody for help. Ask questions. It's going to help you. It's going to help you save time, because when you get into that situation again, you're going to know what to do. You're going to understand it. Don't try and fake understand anything. It's not going to get you anywhere. Another tip, if you know that your patient is going to go for some type of procedure or get something done at bedside, if you already know that's going to happen throughout the day, get your supplies ready early, so that when the doctor's ready or transport comes, you are not running around like crazy. There were so many times when I first started that my patient needed to go to MRI and transport shows up and I'm like, they're not in the MRI gown. So then I'm like running around, stressing myself out and wasting transport's time. You don't want to waste anybody's time, because you don't want your time wasted. So, or if you know that your patient's going to get a central line, prep them, get them in the right position in the bed, bring in any supplies that you can bring, just get everything ready so that when it's go time, they're not waiting on you, because you'll just get stressed out. It's not a good feeling, and you're gonna have more time to get the stuff done that you need to get done at that time, so you're not having to drop everything and do something else. All in all, it's gonna take time to develop good time management habits and strategies, and you're gonna find what works for you personally. It took me a while to figure out what works, but I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. But you're gonna have bad days. They're gonna come, and you just have to struggle through them, keep your head up, and learn from your bad days, and hopefully you'll have less of them. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.